Hello guys and welcome back to another model railway video, and today we have a running session with all of my diesel locomotives. Now I wanted to do this for quite a while, but I've had hardly any diesels, but as you can see we've got quite a few now, especially the fact that we've had like three quite recently to build the collection up. So obviously we've got the Dapol Class 68, we've got the Bachmann 66, the Lima 60, Bachmann 57, Bachmann 47, Hornby Classic 47, Hornby Railroad 08, Bachmann 03, and then the Hornby Shunter and the two Hornby Classic 43s at the back. So we're going to go in class order, so 68, 66, 60, 57, 47, 47, 43, 43, 08, 03, and then the Shunter, and basically just enjoy diesels for this video. So let's get right to it. So first up is the Dapol Class 68, so we will get this running and get some shots of it running around the layout. Very nice, smooth, fantastically detailed locomotive. Got the Pullmans behind it because they obviously don't have Trans-Pennine coaches. Also not getting Trans-Pennine coaches because this is a heritage railway, so there's not really much point. Yes, the layout is still on its winter scene. I'm intending on getting rid of it very soon. It is obviously still wintry in the UK. We've still got snow and ice in areas, so it's quite fitting to still have it. So I've decided to keep it a little bit longer than usual, but there will be a video of us removing it very soon, just a sort of comedy video, but it is still quite fun to watch. So that'll be rather soon as well. So. So that is the Dapol Class 68. We will now move on to the next locomotive. Now for the gorgeous Class 66. Now I've got this with coaches because I can't bother putting loads of freight on. We will do a little bit of freight later on, but we'll enjoy the Class 66 with some coaches, which is obviously an odd combination, but it is what it is. So let's go. We've had a disaster already because this coupling on this front of this coach doesn't have a hook. Right, back in a sec. And we're sorted. I found a spare hook for the front coach. So, we're sorted. By the way, it's loud because it's on feedback, just so you know. The loco is... I'm on a feedback controller, so locos are naturally loud on feedback, but I'm going to get some proper, better controllers at some point. I do have a non-feedback controller, but I don't really want to run it on that because it's an old one, so still a very good controller there. I usually run my cordless locos on that non-feedback though. But yes, it's running absolutely perfectly. Those coaches, autofocus is completely out, never mind. Just Bachmann Class 66. And that is the Class 66. And now we're going to get on to the next locomotive. So next is the Lima Class 60, which is a locomotive that I've had for quite a while. And that I run probably the least out of any loco. Well, I wouldn't say that. But I run it very rarely. And basically, it's not a bad locomotive. I mean, it looks fairly alright. I'm intending on keeping this locomotive, but obviously getting a super modern Hornby one. But keeping this as a sort of memento to one of the first proper diesels I got. So, very nice locomotive. I've just stuck the coaches from the 66 on the back of this because I'm intending on most of these will probably be passenger anyway. We'll get on to freight with the Shunters later on. So, we'll enjoy a Class 60 with some coaches because it's unique and quite cool. And yeah, basically, we will enjoy it. It's quite loud, so bear with. It's a loud locomotive, but runs really well. Like, running really well. It's more of a passenger locomotive because it isn't as super heavy or super strong as a modern one, so it's not particularly powerful. So you probably use this just for passengers or small freight stuff. But when I eventually have a huge layout and a massive collection of locos, this will still be in it. Hope so, anyway. And yeah, good little thing. So it is big though. It's a big locomotive. It shows how massive it is. I do like a few of these old Lima vintage locomotives. I think they're quite nice. I might pick up a few at some point, as long as I've got like a super modern equivalent. I don't mind these as sort of locomotives that I rarely run, but sort of are nice to have in the collection. We did some nice locos. The 60 is a really good tool in there, with the Lima one. It's a really good loco. I've actually seen this very locomotive in a train spotting video, but not in this livery, obviously. 60015, I believe. And it was nice to see it in person, and I think it's the same locomotive anyway, and it's in DB Schenker livery now, so which is the livery I intend to get a super modern Hornby one in. So it can match the 66 and look quite cool. We do double headers with them with massive freight trains and stuff. Right, we won't leave this one running for too long. First time it's ran in a very, very long time, but ran absolutely beautifully. So, yeah. Let's get to the next locomotive. So, this is the Bachmann Class 57 in Northern Bell livery, and it looks fantastic. So, this is the next locomotive to run, so we will enjoy this for a little bit, and it has the Pullmans behind it. I do intend to get some Northern Bell coaches eventually, but obviously that's not at this second, so we're running with the closest luxury coaches I can find in the collection, which is the Pullmans. So let's go. Lovely, smooth and quiet locomotive. Bit of a bag in this, quite a rare locomotive in terms of livery for a 57. They don't sell them brand new anymore, I don't think, but very, very nice thing. It was £105, and that's pretty much brand new. So I'm very happy with that. That was from Hatton's, but that was a discount from around 155, 160. So I was chuffed when I got this because I love 47s and 57s. 47s mainly. This is the only 57 I'll probably ever get, because if I'm going to get this shape, I'll probably get a 47 and get loads of different liveries. So, but it's nice to have the really nice Northern Bell one. Just got to get the Northern Bell coaches eventually. Fantastic, doesn't it? And we will go into a stop there like that. What a gorgeous locomotive. And we're now going to go on to my favourite diesel probably ever, and the flagship and the most expensive diesel I have, and probably the rarest locomotive I actually have in the whole collection. And yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous. So that is it. The Class 47 in Network Southeast livery. It is Old Oak Common, one of 512, made exclusively for the Colonel Model Rail Centre, and it was like over 200 quid because of how rare it is. But I would never ever have been able to cope if I'd missed out on this locomotive, because I've always wanted it, and I think it's absolutely beautiful. I have not got any Network Southeast coaches, but it's the only specific coach that I will get, because I will eventually have a couple of these. I think I want to get, is it 31 or 33 that they do in Network Southeast, I think. And the Class 50, they also do in Network Southeast. So I want to get a couple of Network Southeast locomotives eventually. The 47 will always be the flagship, but I do want a couple of Network Southeast locos. So it would make sense to get some Network Southeast coaches. Between 6 and 10 are usually the consists I go for of everything, so that's what I'm going to go for, and then see what we can do with them. But yes, until then, I run it with the BR chocolate creams, because firstly I have 4, which looks fantastic, and secondly they actually really well match the livery. I just think they work really well with the livery. So we will run the Network Southeast 47 now. How beautiful this thing is. Looks really good with those coaches though, doesn't it? I really like those coaches actually, like, together. They are just a bit of a nuisance with the couplings and the fact that sometimes they derail a little bit because the Bachmann coaches, but they work really well. They're quite heavy coaches though, so less powerful locomotive, steam locos specifically, do struggle with them on the odd occasion, but this one at the front is a Lima full brake, which I got at the East Lancashire Railway, but it's a nice small addition to the collection of these coaches because now I've got a full brake. It just looks really cool. So, but yeah, this locomotive's absolutely gorgeous. I've always wanted this locomotive. There's no loco I've ever wanted more than this. I don't think, other than the 7F and a couple of others. But for diesels, this is the one I've always wanted the most, and I was never not getting this locomotive. It's just absolutely sensational, and it's one of many 47s I will probably end up with, because obviously I've already got the Hornby Classic, which is a keeper. There is a bit of a plan with that. I will tell you very shortly when we run that locomotive what the plans for that locomotive are. Nothing bad, because the locomotive is staying. But then obviously I'll probably get a BR Blue and Grey. No, not BR Blue and Grey. What am I on about? BR two-tone green, BR Blue and Grey is the coaches. I'm getting confused. So BR two-tone green, and then possibly a couple of others dependent on what catches my eye. But obviously this is one of my favourite liveries for locomotives, for diesels. My favourite for the Class 47, and I think one of my other favourites is the BR two-tone green. I think it's absolutely gorgeous, so I will get that as well. But I think it's an absolutely gorgeous locomotive, this. I mean, it was very pricey, but it was worth it because it's just an amazing locomotive. Why does the camera not focus properly? This is stupid. We'll pull this one into a stop. Look at that thing. It's so nice. Now on to the old Hornby Classic Class 47. So here is the leaning tower of Class 47. It does actually lean over, but I don't know how to solve that. I have to put some weight in it. But actually the plan is to get a new body for this locomotive, because you can see it's a bit tatty, and it looks a bit naff. So the plan is to get a new body for the locomotive, keep the chassis and the motor and everything, and basically improve this locomotive massively, because I like it a lot, because it's got quite a lot of sentimental value, because we've had it quite a long time, but also because it runs really well. But obviously it's a bit tatty, so it would be nice to have a more updated, nicer, slightly better body on this locomotive. So that is a plan that we'll be doing further down the line. There will be a video on that as well, Project Class 47, which is basically just swapping the body over. Maybe improving it a little bit and stop it leaning over as well, put some weight in it. But yes, that will be just a small video of us improving this locomotive. But until then, we've got to deal with it as it is, and we're going to enjoy this locomotive a little bit now. I do have the Class 43 coaches behind it, just because it looks quite cool. They will be running with the actual proper Class 43 after this, so that's why they're also on. But it looks cool because the diesel's blue as well, so yeah. Let's go. Slowly, Class 47. It's a tendency to go quite fast. It's quite a quick loco, but we're not going to run it quickly. It's quite good with them coaches, to be fair. I'm stopping slightly, but on the points, but never mind. That'll do. Now we will get onto the HSTs. In fact, there's two, so I'm going to do one per line, just to save a little bit of time as well. So we'll get to those right now. Right, the Virgin one is warming up. It's on full power, actually. You put it on full power. That's going to get dangerously fast, fly off and kill everyone. Oh well. And now for the BR Blue and Grey one, which is on full power. Oh, there we go, it's going. These old Wingfields have a tendency not to run brilliantly. Once they warm up, they do run quite quickly. Come on, Gus 43, why are you shaking? Jesus, speed. BR Blue and Grey one running around now. That's going very fast now, that's really quick. Sugar, not as quick as... This one's not going as quick yet. Holy moly, I can't keep up. Help us all. It's more like help everybody on board. Because that's going pretty fast. So I think that one is supremely happy with the points over there, but never mind. That's on full power, that BR Blue and Grey one. Oh, the smell in here of old railway locomotive. Right, I've stopped them. Anyway, that will do for those two because they were getting a bit out of hand in terms of how fast they were going. Now we've got the three remaining locomotives, which is the 08 Shunter, the 03 Shunter, and the Hornby Collectors Club Shunter. So we will get those onto the track now. Well, not together, but individually. So we're going to start off with the 08. So we have the Railroad 08 with the parcel wagons. So we'll just give that a bit of a run round, and then we'll move on to the 03. These aren't the best, these old 08s, to be honest. But I quite like this one. I like the livery, so... Like, what the hell? Only locomotive that's stopped on the points. There we go. Hand of God. You can't run it at 08 speed because it'll cut out, which is just really annoying. But then you see what half speed is. Bring up to half, that's about half. That's faster than any 08 will ever go in its life. Speed and power. Obviously the accuracy is bad as well because it's a railroad one, but it is what it is. Don't even think they sell the Railroad 08 anymore. Maybe a locomotive that I sort of let go for a super modern 08, because I'd love that. It'd be sad to see this loco go, but I mean, it's just not good enough for the layout, and I want a super modern 08 shunter really. I don't know what we'll have to do yet. Consider what we have to do, but I mean, I hardly ever use this locomotive, and it's stopping on the points. What the hell? Those points are a bit dodgy anyway, to be fair. I'm going to swap them over, but still stuttering on these ones closest to us, and no loco struggle on these, so can't be that. I mean, track's absolutely filthy, but it's been cleaned recently. I do want a super modern 08 though, but the problem is it's so expensive. But if I could Partex this, I could get an 08 shunter as replacement for this, and get a really nice super modern one, which wouldn't stop on the points. Very annoying. The 03 shunter does occasionally stutter on points, but it's a short wheelbase locomotive. This has got quite a long wheelbase, so it shouldn't be stopping, but it is. It's just being really annoying. It just looks naff as well, because it's too tall as well. I mean, yeah, it's just one of them, innit? Anyway, let's get to the next locomotive. So here we have the stunning Bachmann Class 03 shunter, a fantastic piece of kit. It's super heavy with that die-cast running plate, mechanism fantastic with the coreless motor, the wheel bearings, etc. It's super detailed, the cabs light up. So, and I've just got some box vans with them, with the locomotive. So we'll enjoy this one. Second to last locomotive this, but it's a great loco indeed. Well, obviously the non-feedback controller. Super slow this one, geared. We'll see if it cuts out on that dodgy point over there, but that's really slow. And obviously look how tiny this locomotive is. It's got a really small wheelbase, so come on, do me bad, don't cut out. Ooh, it didn't fully cut out. I'll speed up a little bit just so that we're not gonna cut out a lot. Full speed. That's not actually full speed at all. It can go a lot faster than that. It's running really well at that speed, so I'll just leave it as it is for now. Yeah, that point's really dodgy. I don't know why the locos are they're actually slowing down before the dead zone. These ones aren't. They've got to go over 2 here, and it's not cutting out. I'll swap that over shortly. See if it makes any difference. Running super slow and super nice there. Okay, that was complete stop then. Oh, that was a bit weird. Swapped it out. It's still bad. I don't know what the problem is. I don't know why it's slowing down like that. Not random. It seems to be okay that time. It's slightly raised up now though, which isn't brilliant. We'll sort that out in a second. It does run really well though. Look how slow that is. I mean, that's probably the maximum I've ever ran it at. Right, we'll run this one a little bit longer. I mean, the problem is because it runs really slow. Because it's a shunter, it's supposed to. It takes forever for it to get round the track. But I'm not complaining. It's a gorgeous locomotive. We've sorted that point out anyway. go. Also, if you want to check slow speed on this, you can, because the thing is all the way down, but when it's not in the middle setting, it actually does provide a little bit of electricity. So look at that. That's with a load, and that's not the slowest it'll go. That's just absolutely immense. Super smooth as well. Gorgeous loco. Right, now for the last one, which is the network rail shunter. So let's get to it. So there it is. We've got it with the track cleaning coach. Few laps with that might be beneficial for the track. So let's get to it. It's almost struggling to pull it because of the amount of drag. It is actually struggling with that load, which is quite crazy, but never mind. This is your job. You're a network rail shunter. You're supposed to clean the railways. We'll be keeping this locomotive. I do quite like it. When I eventually get some network rail coaches, because I've got to get some of those eventually, it'd be quite cute to have that as a little run around that goes and helps everyone out on the railway. It runs quite well as well, actually, because it's an 040, so nothing really wrong with the loco. Just really gets used, to be honest, but it is actually not happy with that load, and that's a very small load, but there is a lot of drag on that coach. And there is a slight hill there, so it's to be expected a little bit. Because the amount of drag which behind that coach as well, because it's got plastic wheels in it as well, and the plastic wheels on the brake band, but then obviously you've got the rails that clean the track, so they're brushing against it, so it's fair enough. Track maintenance. Cute little locomotive there. Lovely. So guys, that is a running session with all of my diesel locomotives. Hope you have enjoyed. I certainly have. There's quite a few, but obviously we will gradually increase this fleet of diesels ever more so. 99% of these are permanent keepers, obviously. We've got to do up the old 47, but the 43s, definite keepers. They are quirky. I do like the old ones. Obviously we will get new ones, but we do have to have a couple of vintage locomotives in the collection. I'm not sure what's going to happen with the Railroad 08, because I really want a Railways one, but they're a bit pricey. But if I could get a Partex with the Railroad one, could get one a little bit discounted, so depends yet. I'm not sure what's going to happen with that. The little network rail shunter's not going anywhere because it's a collector's club locomotive, so pretty much this is the collection as well. Just a quick update. You got Dapol Manor down there looking gorgeous. Little bit of an update on the Bachmann one. It still hasn't gone anywhere because I've not got around to taking it to the shop I want to get a logo from, because I haven't firstly got the cash to do it yet, and I just not had the time. But that will remain in the collection probably a couple more weeks and a couple more months. I'm not sure 100%, but obviously you won't see anything of it because it's officially leaving the fleet. So the old HST has already gone. It's gone to a friend of mine, so that's why we still do have the Harvey the HST from Kelly Ashford, and obviously the Virgin Trains one. So they are in the collection now. Well, Harvey is now permanently in the collection, and The Virgin one is now repaired from its issues that arose recently, so that's now fine. Yeah, we're all sorted, basically. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you very soon for some more videos. Please subscribe if you haven't already. It will be amazing to see the channel grow a little bit more. But obviously, yeah, this is growing as well. The collection. It's not grown. Well, when I say it hasn't grown since the start of the year, I mean it has. We've had 1, 2, 3. We've technically had 3 locomotives join, but we've had 1 leave since the start of the year. So not doing too badly already. But should be a few more throughout the year. But anyway, until next time, I'll see you very soon for some more videos. Goodbye.